We'll allow it for 15 to 1. This programme was recorded before the recent events in the race for London Mayor.
Ken Mitchell from Farnham in Surrey. Mohammed Islam from Bradford. Sally Collins from East Croydon in Surrey. Vera Brown from Gateshead in Tyne and Wear. Roy Orr from Oldbury in the West Midlands. iCARUSmith from Kingston upon Hull. Alan Morton from Dewsbury in West Yorkshire. Mike Markland from Sanderstead in Surrey. John McGrath from Epsom in Surrey. Harry Wright from Stirling. Fred Jones from Worcester. Rich Jenkins from Bristol. Ron Wood from Hampton in Middlesex. Susie Ford from Chichester. And Anne Thomas from Newmarket in Suffolk are all here to play 15 to 1, presented by William G. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello, no previous winner with us today, so we'll start with a look at the finals board. There it is with Michael Penrice still way ahead at the top, and Darren Ferguson and Anne Crozier the targets for a second day. If the tea trays are on the table and your telephone's off the hook, we'll make a start. And it's 2 questions each in the first round, 1 correct answer from you to survive, and we begin with Ken Mitchell from Farnham in Surrey. Ken, horse racing. At which racecourse is the Ebor Handicap run?
York.
Mohammed, please. The London mayoral election. Who has been chosen as the Conservative Party candidate for the London mayoral election?
No idea.
Geoffrey Archer. Sally, famous scientific principles. The weight of the liquid displaced by a floating body is equal to the apparent loss in weight of the body. Whose principle?
Archimedes.
Vera, please. Aviation. Which European country's airline is known by the initials TAP?
Portugal.
And Roy, please. Mythology. In Greek mythology, how were Euryale, Cithino and Medusa known collectively?
Muses.
The Gorgons. Icarus, art and Russia. Containing more than 12,000 sculptures, 16,000 paintings and 600,000 drawings and works on paper, in which Russian museum is the largest public collection of art in the world? No? The Hermitage. Alan, law. What legal term describes someone accused of a crime giving evidence against their accomplices in the hope of receiving a more lenient sentence? Turning Queen's evidence. Mike, the town of Mansfield, Southwell Racecourse and Newark-on-Trent. Which county are they all in?
Nottinghamshire.
John, please. In which Commonwealth country in October was a civilian government led by the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif overthrown in a military coup? Pakistan. Harry, please. Which creatures belong to the class Aves? A-V-E-S. Aves.
Birds.
Fred, please. Politics. In which town did the Conservative Party hold their annual conference this year?
Brighton.
Blackpool. Rich, please. According to a scientific survey commissioned by the BBC, 99% of London's banknotes contain traces of which illegal substance? Cocaine. Ron? What term is used to describe the moon when it appears greater than a half moon but less than a full moon?
Planet.
Gibbous. Susie, please. Govan, Rutherglen and Springburn are parliamentary constituencies in which city?
Glasgow.
Anne, please. Church architecture. What name is given to the area in a church originally reserved for the clergy, containing the choir and the altar or sanctuary?
The nave.
The chancel. Ken, your second question, zoology. Ichthyology is the study of which creatures?
Fishes.
And Mohammed, chemistry. Which chemical element has the symbol F?
Fluorine.
And Sally, please, sport and the game of tennis. Who in October, playing in the Grand Slam Cup in Munich, won the richest prize on the international tennis circuit, picking up a cheque for $1.3 million?
Greg Rosetsky.
Vera, please, 20th century literature. Which novel by Graham Greene was described by its author as a Secret Service comedy?
Our Man in Havana.
Roy, please, for which is the Tuscan town of Carrara in Italy famous?
I have no idea.
Marble. Icarus. Newspapers. The name of which French daily newspaper published in Paris means the world?
Le Monde.
Alan, please. Science. What name is given to the shallow circular dish used in laboratories for the growing of bacterial cultures?
Petri dish.
It is, after R.J. Petrie. And Mike, the word uxorial means of or relating to whom or what?
The peoples of the world.
It means relating to a wife. John, television. Robin Day, Peter Sissons and David Dimbleby, with which BBC programme have all three been associated?
This week.
Question time. Harry, please. Canada. Edmonton is the capital of which Canadian province?
Alberta.
Fred, please. The official title, please, of the person who acts as the chairman of the annual General Assembly of the Church of Scotland.
I don't know.
Moderator. Rich, still Scotland, the peerage. Campbell is the family name of which Scottish duke?
Duke of Argyll.
Ron, please. Geography again. The capital of Indonesia, Jakarta, lies on which island?
Timor.
Java. Susie, please. Glamour on the High Street. Which Hollywood actress, star of the films Splash and Roxanne, is fronting an advertising campaign for the hosiery and lingerie department of BHS? Daryl Hannah. And the royal family, Nicholas II, the last Tsar of Russia, was a first cousin to which British monarch?
Queen Victoria.
King George V. And it's 5 down, 10 to go. Philip?
And they are Roy Orr, John McGrath, Fred Jones, Ron Woods and Anne Thomas. And of the remaining 10 contestants, 4 still have their 3 lives intact.
We start with radio, Ken. The actor Noel Johnson died in October at the age of 82. He will be best remembered for providing the voice of which radio special agent on the BBC in the post-war years?
Dick Barton, Special Agent.
Indeed, Ken. A number, please.
Number 7, please.
Alan, Africa. Who, following independence in the 1960s, was the first Prime Minister and then President of Kenya?
Kenyatta.
Yes, Jomo Kenyatta. And a number, please, Alan.
Number 10.
What would your star sign, or more correctly, your sun sign, be if you were born on St. Valentine's Day? Aquarius. Again, please, Alan.
Number 4.
Mathematics, Vera. What name is given to that side of a right-angled triangle that is opposite the right angle?
Hypotenuse.
A number, please, Vera.
10.
Harry, please. What song, traditionally sung by England supporters, did Rugby World Cup officials originally ban before the England versus New Zealand match, but on appeal decide to let go ahead?
Sweet Chariot.
I need the whole line, was it?
Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Yes, okay, Harry. And
14.
Susie, John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. The name, please, of the giant who imprisons Christian and hopeful. Despair. Again, Harry, please.
Number 1.
Art, Ken. The sculptures Reclining Figure and Madonna and Child, and the Shelter sketchbooks drawn during the Blitz while he was an official war artist are well-known works by which English sculptor?
Henry Moore.
A number, please, Ken.
Number 8, please.
Science, Mike. What word refers to the interval or delay between the transmission of a radio signal and its detection by a receiver?
I'm afraid I've no idea.
Lag. Again, please, Ken.
Number 6.
Icarus, the Eurovision Song Contest. With a total of 7 wins, which country has won the Eurovision Song Contest the most times?
Sweden.
The Republic of Ireland. Again, please, Ken.
Number 4, please.
Vera, English law. In which month of the year do the Hillary sittings begin?
March.
January. Ken, please.
Number 2.
Nursery rhymes, Mohammed. Which cowardly boy in a nursery rhyme kissed the girls and made them cry?
No idea.
Georgie Porgy. Again, please, Ken.
Number 3.
And Sally, the Bible, the Old Testament, the first book of Samuel. Who in the Bible says contemptuously to his foe, "Am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves?"
Don't know.
Goliath. Again, please.
Number 14.
And Susie, English law again. What term is used in English law to refer either to a temporary stop to repayments of money owed or agreed suspension of activity? Moratorium. Again, please, Ken.
Number 8.
European literature, Mike. In which Thomas Mann's story, later a film starring Dirk Bogarde, does Gustav von Aschenbach stay in an Italian city in spite of a cholera epidemic?
I don't know.
Death in Venice. Again, Ken.
Number 6.
And on the same subject, Icarus, the character of the writer Gustav von Aschenbach in Thomas Mann's Death in Venice is based on which Austrian composer?
I don't know.
Gustav Mahler. Again, please, Ken.
Number 4, please.
Vera, the rivers Wensum, Wissey and Yare all flow through which county in the east of England?
Norfolk.
A number, please.
3.
And Sally, television. Who played Kavanagh QC on ITV?
John Thorpe,
A number, please.
12.
Rich, the 20th century. In Italy, Benito Mussolini formed the Fascist Party. The first air passenger service between London and Paris began, and Rutherford split the atom, all in which decade of this century?
In the 30s.
In the second decade, the 1910s. Again, please.
Number 10.
Shakespeare, Harry. Who says in A Midsummer Night's Dream, "My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamoured of an ass."
Titania.
Yes, the Fairy Queen. A number, Harry.
Number 2.
Sport, Mohammed. In which sport are the English women Lisa Hackney, Trish Johnson and Alison Nicholas leading players?
Hockey.
Golf. Again, please, Harry.
Number 12.
Theatre, please, Rich. The name, please, of the eponymous invisible 6-foot rabbit in Mary C. Chase's play, later a film starring James Stewart.
Harvey.
A number, Rich, please.
Number 3.
Sally, the Edinburgh Military Tattoo, the Notting Hill Carnival and the Three Choirs Festival all take place during which month of the year?
August.
And a number, please.
Number 7, please.
Alan, foreign words and phrases taken from the French meaning place to sulk in. What name is given to a woman's small private room?
Boudoir.
That's what it is. And onwards, please.
Number 1, please.
Opera, Ken. Which contemporary British composer wrote the operas The Mines of Sulphur, A Penny for a Song, All the King's Men and Victory?
I don't know.
Sir Richard Rodney Bennett. Again, please, Alan.
Number 12.
Science, please, Rich. What term is used to refer to the upward thrust on a body immersed in a fluid? Buoyancy. Again, Alan.
Number 10.
Australia, Harry. The town of Coobapedy in South Australia is renowned for the mining of which gemstones, Australia being the world's largest producer of the stones?
Opals.
A number, Harry.
Number 1.
Medicine, Ken. Moggygraphia is a form of cramp associated with what activity?
Walking?
Writing. It's writer's cramp. Again, please.
4.
Awards for gallantry, Vera. What word is used in military terminology to indicate the second award of a medal or decoration issued as a metal strip below the clasp of the medal?
Bar.
Yes, as in VC and bar. And a number, please.
3.
This is Shakespeare and astronomy. Titania, Oberon and Puck are 3 of the 15 satellites of which planet?
Saturn.
Uranus. Vera, again, please.
10.
Harry, what's the meaning of the Latin invocation used in the Roman Catholic Church, ora pro nobis? Ora pro nobis.
I don't know.
Pray for us. Again, please.
7.
And Alan, the name, please, of the best known and probably most influential thinker in Chinese history. He was born in 551 BC.
Confucius.
A number, please.
Number 10.
Mythology, Harry. In Arthurian legend, whose mistress was Vivienne?
Gawain.
Merlin's, the magician. Again, please.
Number 1.
And Ken, of which geographical features is limnology the study?
No, I don't know.
Lakes. It is, as it needs to be, 12 down, 3 to go, and after the break, Sally Collins from East Croydon in Surrey, Vera Brown from Gateshead, Tyne and Wear, and Alan Morton from Dewsbury in West Yorkshire will be here for the final. Do please stay with us.
We all have our dreams.
If only we had the money. Well, now there's an affordable solution. A secured personal loan from First Plus.
Conventional secured loans only allow you to borrow against the current value of your home, less your mortgage. This is your equity. First Plus, however, can lend you the value of your equity plus up to 25% of the total value of your home.
So, you could borrow up to £45,000 over periods of up to 25 years. So you can choose the repayment period that suits you and your pocket. You could even increase your monthly spending power by wrapping up all your other credit at the same time. So call First Plus today on 0800 052 6000. The call is free, there's no obligation, and you'll get a quick decision. Don't just dream. Call First Plus now on 0800 052 6000.
The three surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Sally Collins, a TV video library assistant from East Croydon in Surrey. In her spare time, she likes to practice Tai Chi, go to the cinema, and listen to all kinds of music. Vera Brown, a retired clerk from Gateshead in Tyne and Wear. She's taking evening classes in German and pottery. In fact, she likes all handicrafts, and she also enjoys a game of golf. And Alan Morton, a pharmaceutical technician from Dewsbury in West Yorkshire. He was in the army for 23 years, and now he's a member of the Territorial Army. His hobbies are reading, playing golf, and sea fishing.
Thank you. Welcome back. Sally, Vera, Alan, put your fingers on the buzzers. A winning score above 172 for a place on the finals board. Here we go. Literature. Which famous children's story originated one afternoon in July 1862 when the author and his friend Robinson Duckworth took three daughters of Dean Liddell on a boating... Sally?
Alice in Wonderland.
Athletics and world records. The record for the men's 1,000 metres, the last middle distance record held by a Briton, was broken this year by the Kenyan Noah Ngeni. Which British athlete's time set in 1981 did he beat? Alan?
Sebastian Coe.
Indeed. Exploration. In which Scottish city is Captain Scott's ship the Discovery now berthed? Dundee. Which part of the United Kingdom do the French know as Le Pays de Galles? Sally?
Wales.
What's this about? An income tax refund of £20. Second prize in a beauty contest worth £10. Vera?
Monopoly.
It is the community chest. Scientific nicknames or scientific names. What animal nickname is given to the atmospheric belts of high pressure found in both the northern and southern hemispheres at around 30 degrees to 40 degrees latitude? They're called the horse latitudes. Poetry. Aurora Leigh and the Pied Piper of Hamelin. What's the connection between the authors of those famous works? Husband and wife, Elizabeth Barrett and Robert Browning. Food and drink. The name of which type of biscuit containing currants is derived from a 19th century Italian patriot? Sally?
Garibaldi.
Yes, indeed. Three correct answers. Sally, question or nominate?
Alan, please.
Look at this, please, Alan, and tell me. One of the oldest and best-known flags flown by merchant shipping consists of 4 triangles of white, red, yellow and blue. Which famous shipping line?
Is it P&O?
It is P&O. Question or nominate?
Vera.
Famous quotations, Vera. Of which fellow countryman and playwright did Oscar Wilde say, "He hasn't an enemy in the world and none of his friends like him"?
James Joyce.
George Bernard Shaw. Alan, please again.
Sally.
Sally, astronomy. The name, please, of the only known satellite of the planet Pluto, appropriately named after the boatman who ferries the souls of the dead across the river Styx in Greek mythology.
Can't remember.
Charon. Again, please, Alan.
Vera.
Vera, foreign words and phrases. 2 words, one French, one Spanish, both mean goodbye and translate into English as to God. Which 2 words?
Adieu.
And?
Adios.
Ooh. You're going to bite your fingernails then. And now, question or nominate?
Sally.
Musical theatre, Sally. In which musical do the characters Aldonza, Sancho Panza and Don Quixote appear? Man of La Mancha. Again, please, Vera.
Alan.
Alan, The day or date, please, in 1066 on which William the Conqueror was crowned in Westminster Abbey. Christmas Day. Again, please, Vera.
Sally.
Look at this, please, and tell me. The name, please, of the artist who painted this. She is famous for her paintings of chubby, jovial characters, much used on greetings cards.
Beryl Cook.
Beryl Cook. Question or nominate?
Alan, please.
Religion. Abdullah of the tribe of Quraysh was the father of which 6th, 7th century religious prophet?
Muhammad.
Question or nominate?
Vera.
And this is children's books. Which series of small picture books for young children was written and illustrated by Roger Hargreaves, who claimed he chose abstract subjects as his characters because he could not draw?
The Mr. Men.
Yes, and the Little Miss books as well. And
Alan.
Alan, the USA, what collective term is used to refer to the 8 long-established East Coast private universities in the USA?
Ivy League.
Question or nominate?
Sally.
Sally, still the United States, Princeton University, Hoboken, and the gambling resort of Atlantic City. Which state are they all in?
Georgia.
New Jersey. And I'm back with you, Alan. Question or nominate?
Vera.
Vera, food and drink. What's the name of the coarse, hairy plant, an essence of which is traditionally mixed with dandelion to make a soft drink?
Burdock.
Question or nominate?
Alan.
Television. Who is this? He played Wendy Craig's younger son in Butterflies, the time-jumping Gary Sparrow in Goodnight Sweetheart, but is probably best known as Rodney Trotter from Only Fools and Horses. Nicholas Lyndhurst. Again, please, Vera.
Alan.
The Bible, Acts of the Apostles. He was stoned to death in the 1st century AD and is considered to be the first Christian martyr. His name? Stephen. Now, Vera, you have a score of 42, which of course is a winning score. There are 18 questions left, and you have 2 lives left. That's 180, 222, 242 points that are available somewhere. This is art and colours. The name of which pale greenish colour is derived from its supposed resemblance to the colour of the River Nile?
Ordinil.
Sport. Feint, riposte, and balestra are terms used in which sport?
Fencing.
Will you please look at this and tell me, which county town is this? It stands at the head of the Orwell estuary in East Anglia.
Lowestoft.
Ipswich. Sport in the game of polo. How many players are there on each side in a game of polo?
4.
Geography. Darling Harbour, Mrs Macquarie's Point, and Woolloomooloo Bay are all waterfront areas in which Commonwealth city?
Sydney.
Will you please look at this and tell me? This woman is one of the world's most prolific and best-selling authors. Her works include Malice and Changes. Her latest book, her 76th, has just entered the American bestseller list. What's her name?
Beryl Bainbridge.
Danielle Steele. Well, now you really can relax. You were terrified, weren't you, Vera? Yes. Well, now you can relax a little. 82 points, no place on the finals board. You haven't got to worry about the grand final. Go away, happy Christmas, and we'll see you sometime next year. Well done. Stay there. Thank you. Before we go, here's an update on something I've raised before on 15 to 1 and which made an item in our 15 to 1 scrapbook edition earlier this year. It's the matter of the £1.25 reduction that registered blind people are allowed on the television licence fee. You may remember that I told you that a committee on the future funding of the BBC was due to report in July and that they would be considering this reduction of £1.25 for blind people. Well, the Davis report, and this is it, has been published and came to the conclusion that it is obvious that blind people in particular do not receive the same service from the BBC as the sighted population, and the £1.25 per annum reduction in their licence fee is insulting. We believe that from now on, registered blind people should pay only half the general licence fee. Well, I asked the Department of Culture, Media and Sport about this, and the Minister responsible, Janet Anderson, told me the public consultation on the report closed on the 1st of November, and her department is now considering all the recommendations and aims to reach final decisions around the end of the year. Well, in view of the strength of the report and the no doubt strong recommendations from those organisations that look after the interests of registered blind people, there doesn't seem to be too much doubt that there will be some improvement in this allowance, and perhaps the government will accept that a 50% reduction is sensible and fair. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
We are sad to announce that Kenneth Mitchell, one of the contestants in today's programme, has since died. His family wished that the programme would still be shown.
The Bikini Atoll, a natural paradise, a picture postcard place with a terrible past. Who would have thought that one day this ocean would be densely populated by sharks? What is it that attracts the most feared predators of the sea to one of the most hazardous places in the world? Someone thought it would be a good idea to find out. A new series, Secrets of the Deep, begins with the sharks of the Atomic Atoll, tonight at 8 on 4.
And stay with 4, there's some howlers in store for Countdown. And